Hi Capricorn, I'm Anisha. To know more about my work, you may visit my website www.TarotbyAnisha.com. For those of you who are seeking deeper clarity, be it in your love lives or your career, for a personal consultation, you may write to me at TarotbyAnisha@gmail.com. Capricornians, it's a big month for all of us. We have Uranus, that is changing signs after 7 years. From Aries, it's moving on to Taurus, where it's going to be there for the next 7 years. Now, Uranus and Taurus make quite strange bedfellows. Taurus is all about structure, it's about conformity, and Uranus is all about unpredictability. Capricornians, for you especially, you've had Pluto that has been there with you for the last couple of years, and it carries on being there till about 2025. And you also have Saturn that is there aspecting very strongly in your chart. So the combination of Saturn, Pluto, and now Uranus is going to be causing quite an interesting party, to say the least. Pluto, of course, has been making you dig since the last couple of years. Everything that is under the surface that could be affecting you. It may have to do with your psychological patterns. It may have to do with childhood issues. For some of you, it may have brought about things that have not been working for the longest, and you may have been putting up not just a brave front, but because there weren't any more options that you could have explored. But now with Uranus coming in, it's going to be shaking things up, and for the good. While Saturn is still there sitting along with Pluto over there, and I think amongst all the zodiacs, Capricornians, you wear, because that's your ruling planet as well, you wear the Saturnian cloak very well and very stoically. Saturn has brought about a lot of limitations, and it has taught you the true meaning of responsibility. So hard work is something that doesn't faze you in any case, Capricornians. But somewhere this unpredictability, this chaos, this upheaval, taking risks, not knowing as to what is it that tomorrow will actually brings about more fear in you than any of the other zodiac signs. And for the next 7 years, Uranus is going to be having its own little battles with Saturn and with Pluto. So Pluto is going to carry on digging out stuff from underneath, and it has to do with stuff with right from the time that you were growing up. It has to do with your patterns that may have got formed of due to certain experiences that you have had in life, but you are being made to re-look at them, and some of them may not be very pleasant, Capricornians. It could be quite painful. The transformation is, because it's still under process. Pluto is still not done with you. There's still a couple of more years to go. But I think for some of you, especially if your sun, moon, rising is there in Capricorn, the transformation could have been a little painful. But it's there for the good, and it's always harder to see that when we are in the process of changing. I think it's just the chaos and the pain that is far more visible to us than the actual result of it. So you just need to hang on a little bit more. And also, it's not as bleak as it may be sounding. It's just the very Plutonian energy along with it. Now, Uranus is, it's going to be urging you to take risks, Capricornians. And I think somewhere it's positive, because wherein that you have literally sort of paused and, looked, evaluated, analyzed, and then taken a step. Uranus now comes along and says, listen, just jump. You have to just jump, just be in the present, just go with the flow. And that is what is also really required in order to be working with the Plutonian energy that you've been battling for the last 6 odd years. And it's still there for the next couple of years for you. Being very impetuous is just a part of the Uranian energy. But the positive of it is that it will bring about a deep awakening. It will bring out a lot of childlike qualities, or maybe things that maybe will bring out more humor in you. In fact, I do have 1 or 2 Capricornian friends, and I think they have the best sense of humor, though a slightly caustic one. But I think behind all that stoic and that somberness, there's a little child that's hiding. So Uranus is going to be urging you, creating opportunity, maybe be it in form of people from all different walks of life that you will be meeting, and it could be very, very interesting. We're opening the month with the first few weeks where Pluto and Mars are conjuncting for you, and they're there in your own house, Capricornians. And Pluto, of course, he's old news to you now. You are quite used to looking and digging out stuff and looking at it. Okay, fine, even you are here, let's have a look at this, let's deal with this, has been going on for you. Now Mars is going to be bringing about a certain urgency in this, and it's because it's there in yourself. There's almost a sense of impatience with yourself, saying that, why is it that I can't do this, or let me just get on, move on with this. So try during this time, even though you may find it very hard to sort of focus, but allow the Martian energy to bring about that sense of urgency in a very focused way, so that you are able to maybe push forward things that you may have sort of procrastinated, they could have stagnated. So get this urgency and get things going where you may have been going around in a loop. On the 14th, we have Mercury that is joining Sun, and it's there in your house of love, romance, creativity, and children. And Mercury is direct, thank God. And a lot of conversations around things that you enjoy doing, lovely time to be taking a small holiday, lovely time to be spending time with your children. In fact, for some of you, your children could be a source of immense joy for you. On the 15th, we have a glorious new moon, and this is there in your house of love, romance. And this is right before we have Uranus that is going to roll in, big drum roll, into the same house for you as well. So new moon, new beginnings, creativity, new creative projects. Maybe it's a great time to be starting that new business venture. It's a great time to be partnering with someone whom you really get along well with. Wonderful time to be funding as well. It's a great time for investment as well. If you're Capricornians, you're majorly into stocks, even real estate. So a wonderful time for people who are involved in those specific areas. Even investing, I would say, in precious metals. It's a great time to be doing that as well. On the 16th, this is where the fun begins. Now Uranus rolls in for the next 7 years into your house of love, romance, creativity, and children. And Uranus is going to be bringing about a deep awakening in these areas of your life. You're going to find yourself, even for those of you who are in deep committed relationships, you're going to be looking at it and just saying, I don't know where this is going. I don't know whether this is something that I want, or I want to explore more. I want to experience more. I want to maybe go out and I want to travel and maybe meet more exciting people. I don't know whether this really works for me. For some of you, it could mean that your children could be quite unpredictable. You could just find maybe your child just all of a sudden leaves a country, leaves a city, just gives up his or her own job and does a drastic career shift, and that could just sort of take you by surprise as to what's happening. And for some of you, it may also mean that there's this huge sacrifice that you're doing for a child, and I wouldn't say it's not required really, but I think even the suddenness or the intensity with which you feel about the certain, whether it's a sacrifice or something really huge that you do, even that could take you by surprise. But for the next 7 years, I think they're going to be quite fun years. It's a time that you will be more focused on enjoying your life. You could be focused, the eccentric, the unusual, the quirky. These are the things that will really attract you. You will get drawn to people who are doing their own thing. They are pretty much marching to their own beat. Conformity is something, even though Capricornian, that is like literally your tagline. You love conformity, you love stability, you love repetition, and there's nothing called stagnancy. You love the word stagnancy as well. But with Uranus in this specific house, I think it's going to be almost like a creative burst. There'll be something that you have not really explored earlier, or you've just sort of said, it's not something for me, I don't think so, I can do it. And all that will get awakened for you, and I think it's really lovely. On the 17th, we have Mars that moves into your house of earned income. This is also your house of self-worth, self-esteem. It's great for finances. Mars is going to get you going. You'll be proactive as far as money is concerned. You'll be taking charge of your finances. Maybe there's going to be a rebudgeting exercise that you're going to be doing. You're going to be re-looking at your funds. Money is there in plenty, Capricorn, during this time, so that's good. On the 20th, we have Venus that moves into your house of relationships, and that's the house that Venus rules. So it's a wonderful, wonderful time for romance, for love, for harmony, for peace. So if things have been slightly strained in the relationship side, great time to be smoothing them out. Great time to be having a heart-to-heart conversation. It's a great time to heal and heal with love, Capricornians. On the 21st, we have Sun that moves into your house of day-to-day chores. This is also the house of your health, and it's great to be setting new goals for yourself, your fitness goals. Even though, with Sun being out there, at times the day-to-day chores can feel quite mundane. But with Sun over here, there could just be a sense of purpose. You may just want to get more disciplined. There's just a sense of being more organized, if that's possible for Capricornians. We're closing the month on 29th with a full moon that is there in your house of behind the scenes. This is the house of spirituality. It's the house where we go and unplug and we recharge our emotional batteries. Great time to be spending time with yourselves, great time to be journaling. It's a great time for introspection. Even for those of you, if you can't really take some time off or maybe go, for a retreat or for a meditation retreat, try and find some alone time at your home, maybe during early mornings. Just try and spend that half an hour by yourself. Just go for a quiet walk. Just try and do a small meditation. Just try and absorb everything that's happening inside you. Try and still the water. Try and have some stillness inside you, Capricornians. Once there's clarity, you will be able to take a decision. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Capricornians. I'll see you again soon. And thank you so much for watching.